And most of the homes damaged by Ian are not covered by flood insurance. Joining me now is Amy Boggs, head of the Property Insurance Division of the Florida Trial Lawyers Association. Good morning to you, Amy. I'm sure a lot of people about how Ian is going to exacerbate this insurance crisis that we have been seeing, especially in Florida.
Good morning. Yes, so we are facing an unprecedented situation in the state of Florida. We already have an insurance product that is so expensive. In addition to the increasing cost, it is very difficult to even get insurance. And then when you do, we've had year over year a diminishing insurance product, meaning you think you're fully covered and then you realize that your screen enclosure isn't or your roof isn't fully covered. So we're in a situation in Florida where folks are going to be very challenged to rebuild. And that's the biggest hurdle to getting these communities back.
So how do we get to this point? I mean, obviously, it's clear that the risk is high in Florida, right, where storms are frequent. And to know that most Floridians don't even have insurance because flooding and these water events are not covered by a simple homeowner's policy. And I also read that at least 6 insurance companies have already left Florida this year. How did things get so bad?
Absolutely. The problem in the state of Florida really is that we have had lax oversight, and the insurance companies have been mismanaged to an extent. The insurance companies say, well, we're getting sued for claims and things of that nature. Homeowners are saying, listen, my house got wiped off the map. I just want you to pay me for my claim so I can rebuild. I've got Hurricane Michael victims 4 years post-storm, still living in trailers in front of their home, waiting to settle their claim. So one of the biggest problems that we have in the state of Florida is that insurance companies are not made to fully and timely pay their claims. And that's the barrier to rebuilding. It also can lead to a foreclosure crisis, right? So you have folks that just throw up their hands and say, we're just going to leave the property. It's not worth fighting about, et cetera. And so we're in a really difficult time here in the state of Florida. We have blue tarps still in the panhandle. We're now going to have that swath through the middle of the state.
What do you say, though, regarding the insurance industry's arguments blaming, like you mentioned, Florida's tort laws, which help drive up costs, right, because it encourages more lawsuits against insurers than in other states. But also there have been a lot of fraudulent claims as well where insurers have been forced to settle in addition, correct?
Yeah, so that's a more intricate debate, and I'd be happy to get into some of the statistics with that. First of all, one thing to know about your insurance policy is that it's a contract. This isn't tort. This isn't personal injury. Someone saying, hey, listen, I got hit by a car. It really is a contract where on the happening of a certain event, like a hurricane, your insurance company is supposed to answer the call. And the fraudulent claims, we agree as the trial lawyers that you need to stamp that out. And we are willing to work with the insurance companies to get that out. That's not good for anybody.
So
it's
what?
Not good for homeowners.
Right. I mean, all around. I mean, there's so many factors that need to be addressed, right, in terms of regulation and making sure that these insurance companies are actually giving adequate coverage when people are paying up. But what about in terms of, I mean, if I'm a Floridian who's just been through a horrendous storm, you have insurance, you think, okay, well, at least my insurance will cover it. But I mean, what can they expect in terms of what kind of coverage they're going to get and their premiums going up? Is that guaranteed?
So the premiums are going up regardless, even if you didn't have a storm event at your own personal home. Yes, your premiums are going up. And what is covered, again, has diminished. In the past several years, the insurance regulator for the state of Florida has had the ability to reduce roof coverage. There are sublimits on water damage and so on and so forth. And so people are buying this product because they have to, right? And it's covering very little. And then when they do have a claim, in their time of most need, we have a problem in the state of Florida with insurance companies not paying their claims. When you have, and that leads to, right, that lack of oversight is what we also see when we have 6 insurance companies going belly up. Who's watching that? Somebody should be looking at those financials year over year. You know,
Yeah.
most recently, yeah, with the carriers going belly up, the last forensic that was done about a carrier that went into foreclosure, or excuse me, into receivership, was done back in like 2017.
You know,
Those analyses.
yeah, we're out of time, Amy. We really appreciate your perspective on all of this. It's a very important conversation because, as we know, the climate is warming, and you know that means more and more people are going to be displaced, not in just this country or in Florida, but really around the world. And this is just a major, intractable issue that needs to be dealt with now. Amy Boggs, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are continuing to report live from Southwest Florida in the wake of Hurricane Ian. Up next, we're going to get an update from someone in one of the hardest hit areas of South Florida, Sanibel Island. Take a look at the difference before and after this storm swept through the area. Stay with CNN. We're back in moments.